Belleville, Kansas. I'm Kyler Elliott. Looking forward to this matchup. The Lady Red are going to be playing the Clifton-Clyde Eagles. Looking at previous games, the Lady Red come in at 3-3 after a tournament in Hill City where they beat the Ringnecks but fell short against the Oakley Plainsmen. Clifton-Clyde coming in at 3-8. I think this should be a pretty good matchup. Both teams look pretty even, as the Clifton-Clyde Eagles, head coached by Molly Skosny, assisted by Lacey Rudolph, and the Lady Red, head coached by Denise Kattenberg, with assistant coaches Deb Hansen and Janice Feen. As we get ready to start this matchup, it looks like for the Lady Red, we're going to see number 10. That is a 6-foot junior, Leah McKelvey. Number 13, a 6-foot junior, Zoe Nixon. Number 1, Keely Ochoa, a 5-foot sophomore. Number 24, Tatum Rentschler, Turner Rentschler, sorry, who's a 5'10 freshman. And her sister, Turner Rentschler, number 5, who is a 5'10 freshman. For the Lady Eagles, it looks like we're going to have number 7, Grayson Sacco, sophomore. We're going to have number 1, Sevi Wirtz, a senior. Number 18 would be Kaylin Baker, I just lost her, a senior. We're going to have number 17, Paige Joy, a sophomore. And we are going to have number 6, Finley Notgen, a senior. And in for the Lady Red is number 7, Lily Highland, libero. She is a 5'2" senior, as she will take places with Zoe Nixon in the back row, as it looks like Wirtz will be back to serve, starting off the game for the Eagles. Serve is up. It is received by Highland, set by Turner Rentschler, spiked by McKelvey. That one is saved by the Eagles, as it's a spike by the Eagles, and that is the first points of this ball game. Tatum Rentschler, sorry. And that will be the first point of the Eagles after a kill by Ellie Wirtz, as Sevi Wirtz will be back to serve. That one once again received by Highland, but there is a small error, as that will be another point and an ace for the Eagles. Lady Red falling short 2-0 in this first set. Let's see if they can bounce back. Sevi Wirtz again with the serve. Once again received by Highland. Tatum Rentschler there, sets it to Turner, and that one is saved up by the Eagles, but 4 hits will be called, and that will be the Lady Red's first points. Couple of substitutions made here, as number 25, Carper Franklin, comes in. She's a 5'6 sophomore. And number 11, Parker Atwood, a 5'9 senior, as Franklin will be back to serve. Good serve there by Franklin, as that one's received a little awkwardly, but just barely sent over, giving the Lady Red a free ball. McKelvey will set it up for Tatum Rentschler, who will set it back to McKelvey, and that will be a kill as it goes off. And that will be a kill for Leah McKelvey. Franklin once again back to serve for the Lady Red. Good serve long in the back row, as that one will be another free ball for the Lady Red, as Carp will pass it to Tatum Rentschler, who will just tap it over, and it looks like the Clifton-Clyde Eagles will be into the net, as that is 3 in a row for the Lady Red. Started off 2-0, now it's 3-2 in favor of the Lady Red. Franklin once again back to serve. Another good serve there, received by the Eagles, set up by Wirtz, spiked but blocked, and that one will be a point for the Lady Eagles, as Parker Atwood just barely didn't get that one and knocked off her hand and went out. As it looks like we'll have a sub for the Eagles. That will be number 28, Sydney Hunkowski. She is a junior, and she will be back to serve. Service received by Hannah Raby. set by Tatum Rentschler and spiked by McKelvey, but saved. That one's a high one, as that will be a free ball for the Lady Red, as Highland will pass it to Tatum Rentschler, who will set it for McKelvey, and that one will be saved by the Eagles, as Wirtz will set it up, and that one will be set over. Franklin receives it, sets it to Tatum Rentschler, sends it to Raby, and that one is once again saved. We have a good volley here going on, and that one is spiked, but it will be out, and the point will go to the Lady Red. As two more substitutions come in, that will be number 9, Danny Archer, a 5'6" sophomore, and number 12, Kaylin Ifland, a 5'9" junior, as Archer will be back to serve. And it looks like the official is writing down the substitution and dishing out some errors, and we will resume play. Archer to serve. It's a good serve right in the middle of the Eagles, as Wirtz will set it up, and a hard spike is blocked by the Lady Red, and that one's just quick set over, as Highland will pass it to Archer, who will set it up for Ifland, who wasn't ready but will just barely get it over. As that one is tipped, Aaliyah McKelvey passes it to Archer, who will set it back to McKelvey, and that one is a hard kill, and that one will go out of the Lady Red side after the Eagles hit it over. And that will be 5-3 for the Lady Red here in this first set, as Archer will be back once again to serve. Very good kill by Liam McKelvey. Strong serve there by Archer, as Wirtz will set it up, and that one is blocked, but not quite enough, as Ellie Wirtz, the freshman, will get that kill. A couple more substitutions made, as looks like in for number 28 comes number 17, Paige Joy, once again. And Finley Notkin, the senior, back to serve, as Highland will receive it and pass it to Archer, who will set it up for McKelvey once again. And that one is hit by the Eagles, but not saved, as that will be another kill for Leah McKelvey. And now for the Lady Red, number 13, Zoe Nixon. She is a 6-foot junior, and she will replace Lily Highland in the front row, as McKelvey is back here to serve. Serve is up, and it is good but long, but it's received by the Eagles, as Wirtz will set it up to Wirtz, but it's received by Franklin, who will pass it to Archer, and Archer will set it up for Atwood, and Atwood just shoots it a little bit long. Another sub made, as Highland will come back in the game for McKelvey after McKelvey serves. And back for the Eagles to serve will be the new substitution for the Eagles, number 20. We do not have her on this roster, but she's back to serve, as Franklin receives it and will set it up. And Archer will set it up for Nixon. Nixon just tips it over, but it's saved by the Eagles, as Nixon will get another chance at it, but not enough, as this time the Eagles have a hard spike dug by Highland, as Nixon will get the kill there, as she just hits it right between the two Eagles blockers. Another substitution made for the Lady Red, as Turner Rentschler will come in for Franklin on the front row. Currently on the front row we have Turner Rentschler, Zoe Nixon, and Kaylin Ifland, as Parker Atwood will serve it, and that will be set up for Sevi Wirtz, but that one was too long, as the Lady Red get another point, continue this momentum, but still hanging on to a 3-point lead, 8-5 here in this first set in favor of the Lady Red. Atwood back to serve. Serve is good. It is received by the Eagles. Set up there for no one, it seemed like, but that would be an easy one for Highland, as she will get that. And that one was blocked by the Eagles. Turner Rentschler tried to go for a spike, but it was met with hands. We'll see Keely Ochoa come back in the game, replacing Parker Atwood in the back row, as number 18, Kaylin Baker, the senior for the Eagles, back to serve. And that serve will be long outside, as that will be a point for the Lady Red. Another substitution made for the Lady Red, as number 20, Hannah Raby, comes in. She is a 5'5" freshman. I don't think I mentioned her before, but she will be replacing Archer as the setter. Iflin back to serve for the Lady Red. Serve received by the Eagles. Spiked, and that one will be out. That shot there by Paige Joy little out to the left side of the court if you're on the Lady Red. Iflin once again back to serve here for the Lady Red. Received once again by the Eagles. Set up for Sevi Wirtz, and that one will go straight into the net, as that will be another point for the Lady Red and a timeout by the Eagles. Score here in this first set, the Smith Center Lady Red 11 and the Clifton-Clyde Lady Eagles 6. And welcome back here after that timeout by the Eagles. Lady Red lead this first set 11-6. On the court for the Lady Red will be Hannah Raby, Turner Rentschler, Zoe Nixon, Lily Highland, Keely Ochoa, and Kaylin Iflin. Iflin back to serve. And for the Eagles, it's their same squad they had before with Wirtz, number 20, whoever she is, Joy, the libero, number 26, Jordan Fahey. As we resume play here, and that one was a back row kill, as it looked like Ochoa wasn't quite in position there for the Lady Red, as that will be a point out of the timeout for the Lady Eagles, as Tatum Rentschler is back in for Kaylin Ifland. And it looks like the libero, Jordan Fahey, the senior, will be back to serve. Serve received by Highland, as Tatum Rentschler will set it up for Turner Rentschler. That one was triple covered there, but it was saved, and there was a strong block there as the Eagles get their second point in a row on a block by number 6, Finley Notkin, the senior. Fahey back to serve once again for the Lady Eagles as they close this lead down to 3. Received by Highland. Tatum Rentschler will set it for Nixon, and Nixon will get that one just barely as it goes a little awkwardly off of the Lady Eagles' hands, but that will still be a point for the Lady Red nonetheless, as number 10, Leah McKelvey, will come back in the game for Nixon. Highland, the libero, back to serve for the Lady Red. A good serve just squeaks its way over the net, and you could see the look on Lily's face. She was surprised as that one just barely made it over. But, like I said, that's another point nonetheless for the Lady Red. Highland once again back to serve. Strong serve there received by the Eagles. Set up for Sevi Wirtz, and that one is dug by Ochoa. Very good dig by Ochoa. That was a hard hit, but McKelvey sent that one out a little bit off the back row, and that will be a point for the Lady Eagles. Substitution made here as number 20 will come out for Ellie Wirtz, the freshman, as Sevi Wirtz will be back to serve for the Eagles. Highland receives the serve, set it up, or Tatum Rentschler will set it up for McKelvey. McKelvey gets in between those blocks, and that is another kill. And we'll see a couple more substitutions made as Carper Franklin comes in for Turner Rentschler, and Parker Atwood comes in for Keely Ochoa. And Franklin will be back to serve for the Lady Red. Serve there received by the Eagles, but no one is there to pick it up, as that one will go right into the net on the Eagles side, and that will be another point for the Lady Red as they get their biggest lead of the game at 6 points. Score 15-9 here in this first set. Franklin once again back to serve. Serve received well by the Eagles as Sevi Wirtz will set it up for Ellie Wirtz, and that one will be long, as that will continue to be another point for the Lady Red as they make a run here. Carper Franklin once again back to serve. Serve once again received by the Eagles as Sevi Wirtz will set it up for Baker, but that one is nothing coming out of that one. as Highland will pass it to Tatum Rentschler. Rentschler will set it up for Raby, and that one will go out just a little bit wide. Hunkowski comes back in for Joy, as she will be back to serve for the Lady Eagles. Serve is received by Franklin a little awkwardly, as Highland will pick that one up and pretty much set it for McKelvey, but that one will be received by the Lady Eagles. As Atwood there will pass it to Tatum Rentschler, will set it up for McKelvey, and McKelvey's hit will go into the net, as that will be another point for the Lady Eagles as they close this lead down to 5 here in this first set, 16-11. Hunkowski once again back to serve for the Lady Eagles. Serve received by Raby, as Tatum Rentschler will get that one and set it up for Atwood, but that one was blocked, and that one will be a point for the Lady Red after they call a tip. I think that spike there was from Parker Atwood. A couple more substitutions come in. Danny Archer for Hannah Raby and Kaylin Iflin for Tatum Rentschler. Archer back to serve once again for the Lady Red. Strong serve there, as that one was nice and low, but Sevi Wirtz will get it and set it up for Baker, and that one will be a kill for the Eagles. Couple substitutions made, as Joy will come in for Hunkowski, and number 6 Finley Notkin will be back to serve. Highland will receive the serve and pass it to Archer, will set it up for McKelvey. Hard spike there by Leah McKelvey. Very strong kill for her, as that one, almost, there was no chance of anyone stopping that one. As substitutions made here for the Lady Red, as Nixon will come in for Highland. McKelvey, after that spike, will be back to serve. Strong serve there by McKelvey, as that one is saved well by the Eagles, and that will be another kill for Baker after a good set there by Wirtz. And Ellie Wirtz will come out for number 20, who is, I would love to know who she is, but she is not on this roster, but she will be back to serve once again. Serve received by Nixon, pass it to Archer, who'll set it up for Atwood. Atwood handled that one a little awkwardly so the Eagles could get it. And that one was a hard spike there by Baker, but it will be out. As the Lady Red will get the points here. Score is 19-13 here in this first set in favor of the Lady Red, as Turner Rentschler will come in for Carper Franklin. Parker Atwood back to serve here for the Lady Red. Serve is received by the Eagles, and they'll set that one up for Sevi Wirtz, who just barely tips it over. Archer there to save it, and an awkward hit there by Turner Rentschler, as that'll give the Eagles a free ball. And we're just having some play here at the net, as it's just going back and forth on both sides, each side tipping it over to the other, but no points coming out of it. Hard spike there by Turner Rentschler, but nothing comes out of it. Blocked up at the net, but they will call into the net there on the Lady Red, as that will stop the back and forth hitting, as that will end off as a point for the Eagles. As Ochoa comes back in for Atwood, and Baker for the Eagles will be back to serve. Serve there received by Ochoa, as Highland will set it up for Turner Rentschler, and that one is a bit of a mallard, as she almost looked like she kind of hit it sideways, and that one will go just a little bit outside. Baker back to serve once again for the Eagles as they close this lead down to 4, 19-15 here in this first set. Serve there received by Highland, as Iflin will set it up for Turner Rentschler, and that one will be spiked, but once again outside, as the Eagles get another point. And it looks like Coach Kattenberg will call a timeout for the Lady Red here, as they've turn this lead from a 7-point lead down to a 3-point lead here in this first set. And we are back here as the Lady Red take the court. On the court for the Lady Red will be Turner Rentschler, Danny Archer, Zoe Nixon, Lily Highland, Keely Ochoa, and Kaylin Iflin. On the court for the Eagles will be Kaylin Baker, number 20, the libero, Jordy Fahey, Ellie Sevi Wirtz, Paige Joy, and Grayson Sacco. As Highland will receive the serve there, as Archer will set it up for Nixon. Nixon will hit it, and that one will be into the stands for the Lady Eagles, as a couple of hitting errors there will set up the point for the Lady Red. As Raby will come in for Archer, as Iflin will be back to serve. Serve is up, and it is just barely squeaking over the net, as that one will go back on the Lady Red side, as Iflin tries to back set, but no one is there, so the Eagles can easily receive that one. Highland there will receive the hit from the Eagles, and Raby will set it up for Nixon, who will spike it, and that will be a kill for Zoe Nixon, as she gets just on the other side of the net past those two blockers. Lady Red here with 21 in this first set, the Eagles with 16. Iflin once again back to serve. Serve is received by the Eagles, as that one will be a little awkward and will be I thought it was going to be a free ball for the Lady Red, but it'll end up being a free point for the Lady Red, as the lead will grow once again to 6. Iflin back to serve. Serve is received by the Eagles once again, kind of awkwardly, as that will be a free ball for the Lady Red, as Highland will pass it to Raby, who will set it up for Turner Rentschler, and that one once again on the other side of the net, as the Lady Eagles looks like they're not getting quite up to the net enough, as it's just hitting straight down on their side. Lady Red 2 points here from closing off this set, 7-point lead, 23-16. Iflin serves, received by the Eagles, set up for Paige Joy, and that will be a kill and a much needed point for the Lady Eagles. As Sacco will come out for Nottingham, and Tatum Rentschler will come in for Iflin for the Lady Red. Fahey back to serve for the Eagles. It's received by Highland. Pass to Tatum Rentschler. Will set it up for Turner Rentschler, and that one is absolutely stuffed. Good block that time for the Eagles, as they close this lead back to 5. Fahey back to serve once again for the Eagles. Service received there by Raby, given to Tatum Rentschler, who will set it up for Nixon, and that one will hit off the back wall, and that will be a point for the Lady Red, as Nixon will come out for McKelvey. Couple of good points there for Nixon, as it looks like Highland will be here to serve it for the Lady Red. Let's see if they can close out this set. Good serve there by Highland, received by the Eagles, as Highland will receive the spike from the Lady Eagles, and a good tip there by McKelvey, but stopped, as the Lady Red will get a free ball here. Highland to Tatum Rentschler to McKelvey, and that one is once again stuffed. That was number 17, Paige Joy. So the Lady Eagles are not giving up yet, as we'll see a substitution made, as number 20 comes out for Ellie Wirtz here, who has that height that I think the Eagles need on the front row, as Sevi Wirtz will be back to serve. Serve is received by Ochoa, pass to Tatum Rentschler, will set it up for Leah McKelvey, and that one is a spike. Beautiful one by Leah McKelvey, and that will close off this first set. The Lady Red win this one 25-19. And welcome back here as we're getting ready to start the second set. On the court here will be McKelvey, Raby, Atwood, Franklin, Tatum Rentschler, and Nixon for the Lady Red. On the court for the Lady Eagles will be Wirt. It looks like it'll be a little bit of a new squad here as Nottingham, Joy, Baker, the unknown number 20, and Sacco will be in. As we are getting ready to resume play here. Once again, the Lady Red won that first set 25-19. They're going to be looking to close this one out with a sweep. As it looks like there's a bit of confusion on the side of the Eagles, as maybe just some rotational errors here. As Sevi Wirtz, I don't know if I mentioned her, she's also in the game here, looks like, for the Eagles. And it looks like we have this error all figured out here, as Highland will come in for Nixon, and it looks like Fahey will replace Sacco. Franklin back here to serve for the Lady Red to begin this second set. It's a good serve received by the Eagles, as it will be set up for Joy, but that one, I thought that one was saved for a second, but it just didn't have the height to get another player to save it, as that will be an opening point for the Eagles, as number 20 will come out for Ellie Wirtz, as Sevi Wirtz will be back to serve. Serve received by McKelvey a little awkwardly, as that one, surprised they didn't call that one into the net, but they won't, as Ellie Wirtz will spike that one and get another point for the Eagles, as that will be a kill for this game. Sevi Wirtz back to serve. Serve received by Highland, who will pass it to Tatum Rentschler, who will set it up for McKelvey, and that one is blocked by the Eagles, as McKelvey will just set it over this time. And that one is a little awkward, as the Lady Red get a free ball, as Franklin will pass it to Tatum Rentschler, who will set it up for Atwood. Atwood tried to do a far tip, but just got a little too much on it, as that will be the third point in a row for the Eagles. Sevi Wirtz once again back to serve. Highland will receive it and pass it to Tatum Rentschler, who will set it up for McKelvey. And McKelvey hit that one a little weirdly, as that will be a 4-0 run to open up this second set by the Eagles. Sevi Wirtz once again back to serve. Serve is received by Highland, who will pass it to Tatum Rentschler, who will set it up for McKelvey. And that one will be called out, as that is another point for the Lady Eagles here, opening this game up 5-0. Sevi Wirtz once again back to serve. As Highland will receive it, Carper will set it, Parker will hit it, and that will be the first point for the Eagles, as that one will go off of the back wall. As Archer will come in for Raby, and Iflin will come in for Tatum Rentschler. And Archer will be back to serve after that much needed point there from the Lady Red. Good serve there by Archer as Sevi Wirtz will set it up for Paige Joy, and that will be a kill for Joy. As the substitution made, and Joy will come out for Hunkowski, presumably to serve, and it looks like that will be the case as Hunkowski is back to serve for the Eagles. Serve received by Highland as Archer will set it up for McKelvey. McKelvey will spike it, and it was just long, and they call no tip. As the Eagles get another point, Hunkowski once again back to serve, score 7-1 in favor of Clifton-Clyde in this second set. Hunkowski's serve received by Highland. Archer will set it, and she will get just a little too far over as they will call into the net, and Coach K needs a quick timeout here as the Lady Red fall to 7 down, 8-1 in this second set. And we are back here in this second set. Lady Red down 8-1. Hunkowski back to serve for the Eagles once again. Serve received by Highland. As Archer will just try to do a little set over, and it won't work, and it'll go outside as the Lady Red now down 8. Hunkowski once again back to serve for the Eagles. Serve received by Ifland as Archer will set that up, and Kaylin Baker is right there just to joust Archer at the net, and that one will be another point for the Eagles as they are opening this game up hot. Hunkowski once again back to serve. Serve received by Ifland, who will pass it to Archer, set it up for McKelvey, and McKelvey's hit will go right into the net as the Lady Red now down double digits, down 11-1 here in this second set. Hunkowski back to serve. Highland will receive it. Archer will set it. Atwood will tip it over. And that was a smart play there as the Eagles hit it backwards and no one was there. As the Lady Red get a point and will get the serve back, and Nixon will come in for Highland on the front row. McKelvey back to serve for the Lady Red. Serve is up and good and received by the Eagles as Sevi Wirtz will pass it up for Baker, and that one will be dug out by the Lady Red as Atwood will spike it over on the Lady Red for the Lady Red, and they will call that one out and will say no tip here as McKelvey will come out for Highland and Hunkowski will come out for Joy as Finley Notkin, number 6, will be back to serve for the Eagles. Serve received by Franklin, set by Highland. Nixon will just tip it over as that one will be hit back onto the Lady Red side as Archer will set it up for Nixon, and that one will get blocked as we're just seeing it's just going everywhere now as Archer will get it back and set it up for Nixon once again, and Nixon will spike that one, and that will be a kill for the Lady Red as they cut the lead back to single digits with 9 points. Franklin will come out for Turner Rentschler as Parker Atwood will be back to serve for the Lady Red. Serve there received by the Eagles. Sevi Wirtz will set it up for Baker, and that one will just get hit a little bad and will not make it over the net as that will be another point for the Lady Red. Let's see if they can get a run going here. Atwood once again back to serve for the Lady Red as the serve is up and it looks good, and that will be a beautiful serve as that will be an ace for the Lady Red. Beautiful, beautiful serve by Parker Atwood. She will be back in the hot seat once again here to serve. Another good serve received by the Eagles this time as Sevi Wirtz will set it up for Baker, and that one will be a kill for the Eagles. As Atwood looks like she will take a seat in place of Keely Ochoa. And it looks like Ellie Wirtz will come out for number 20 once again, who will be back to serve. Serve is received by Iflin, set by Archer. Nixon went on the wrong side there, giving the Eagles a free ball, as that one will be set up for Sevi Wirtz, and that one will be a kill for the Eagles as Highland and Ochoa just couldn't quite get there. Substitution made by the Lady Red as Raby will come in for Archer on the front row here. And number 20 back to serve. It's received by Highland, set by Raby for Iflin. Iflin will get that one over, but it was tipped as the Eagles will get this one back. Dug out by Ochoa as Highland will pass it over to Nixon. Nixon will just hit it over as it's set here for Baker. And that was a hard spike and a kill for Baker once again, as the Eagles will grow this lead back to 10. Score 15-5 here in this second set. Number 20 back to serve. And that one was a bit of a mallard as it went to the left side of the net for the Eagles. And that will be the points back for the Lady Red. It's like number 12, Iflin, back to serve here. Serve is good and received by the Eagles. Set up for Sevi Wirtz as Ochoa, bit of a mental error there as she could just not quite get to that ball. And that will be a kill for Wirtz and the Eagles, as Tatum Renshaw will come in for Iflin, and another substitution made as Ochoa will come out for Atwood. Kaylin Baker back to serve for the Lady Eagles. And that one will go right into the net as the Lady Red will get the point back. McKelvey comes in for Nixon. The libero Highland back to serve for the Lady Red. Serve is good as that one will just get tipped over and saved barely by Tatum Renshaw as Raby will set it up for Turner. Joust at the net, won by the Eagles as McKelvey is back there and will spike it and get another kill for the Lady Red as they close this lead now down to 8 here in this first set, 16-8. In favor of the Lady Eagles. Highland once again back to serve. Serve looks good. It was received as it is set up for Sevi Wirtz. Tip there at the net as Atwood will pass it to Tatum Renshaw. Will set it up to Turner Renshaw. That one was just a tip. And it was received by the Eagles as we saw another tip there. But Turner Renshaw will spike it. And that one was once again tipped and saved by the Eagles. Highland there will set it up for Tatum Renshaw, who will set it up for Turner Renshaw, and that one will get it over. As Joy will just spike it over barely, as we are seeing a great volley here as it is set up for Baker. Baker just hits it over as Tatum Renshaw will receive it for set it up for McKelvey, and that one will just be outside as the Eagles will win that point. And Nottingham will come in for Sacco, and Jordy Fahey, the libero, back to serve for the Lady Eagles. Serve is up, received by Highland, set by Tatum Renshaw from McKelvey. McKelvey will spike it, and that one just goes right through the blocks, as that will be a point for the Lady Red. Turner Renshaw will come out here for Franklin. And it looks like Franklin will be back to serve. Serve is good, received by the Eagles. Set up here for Wirtz. Wirtz, hard spike, and Franklin just couldn't quite get to that one, as that will be another kill for Sevi Wirtz in this set, as she will be back to serve, and Ellie Wirtz will come in for number 20. Like I said before, Sevi Wirtz back to serve. Franklin receives it, will pass it to Tatum Wrenchel, will set it up for Raby. Raby spikes it, but it looks like Atwood there got a little bit in the way of Franklin, and that one will go off to the side and result in a point for the Eagles. Sevi Wirtz back here to serve once again. Received by Raby, set up by Franklin, hit over by Atwood, received by the Eagles. Joy will get that one and tip it over, and no one on the Lady Red side was there, as that will be another point. Biggest lead of the night here, of the day, I guess, here for the Eagles, as it is 20-9 here. Sevi Wirtz back to serve, received by Highland, set up by Tatum Wrenchler for McKelvey. Hard spike. Oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure that ball had smoke on it as it was coming by. Hard kill there by Leah McKelvey. Couple subs here for the Lady Red as Archer will come in for Raby and Iflin will come in for Tatum Wrenchler. Archer back to serve. Good serve there as Sevi Wirtz will set it up for Joy, and that one will be a kill for the Eagles. As, Joy will come out for Hunkovsky, as presumably Hunkovsky will be back to serve, and it looks like she is going to be. Score 21-10 here in the second set. Lady Eagles leading. Serve is up and received by Franklin, set by Iflin. Tipped over by Atwood, but great awareness there by Ellie Wirtz there on the front row to hit that one straight down, and that will be another point for the Eagles. Hunkovsky once again back to serve. Highland will receive it, pass it to Archer, who sets it up for McKelvey. McKelvey will get another kill this set. We've been calling her name a lot, and she's been delivering for the Lady Red here. As Highland will take a break, as Nixon will go in for her. McKelvey back to serve. Serve is received by the Eagles. Sevi Wirtz will set it up a little bit awkwardly there, as the Lady Red, a bit of an error there, as Archer couldn't quite get to it without going over the net. And that will cause McKelvey to take a seat for Highland, and Hunkovsky will go in for Joy. As Notkin will be in, or back there to serve. Serve is received by Nixon. Set up, or at the net, joust there by Archer, as it will go over on the Eagle side. Hard spike there by Baker, blocked by Nixon. And it looks like a pretty controversial call there, as that one will be in, as the Lady Eagles 1 point away from closing this one out. As Notkin once again back to serve. Nixon receives it. Archer will set it back to Nixon. Nixon will spike it, as that one will get tipped and hit outside by the Eagles, as the Lady Red are not done yet. As Fahey will go in for Notkin, and Turner Wrenchler will go in for Franklin. Parker Atwood back here to serve for the Lady Red. Serve is received by the Eagles, as Sevi Wirtz will hit it up for Baker. Baker just tips it over. Atwood will get that one and set it up for Archer, and Turner Wrenchler will hard spike that one, but that one is saved by the Eagles, as Atwood will pass it to Archer, who sets it up for Nixon. Nixon will, oh, and that one is saved. Beautiful play there by Ellie Wirtz, as Turner Wrenchler tries to tip that one over, and that will be the second set as the Eagles end with that point. Score 25-12. A huge turn of events here in the second set, as the Lady Eagles will win this second set and force a third. Coming back here into the third set as the Lady Red win the first set 25-19, then the Eagles come back and win the second set 12-20 or 25-12 in favor of the Eagles, as it looks like Highland will take the place of Nixon here, and the libero Fahey will go in for Sacco. Sevi Wirtz back here to serve to open up this first set for the Eagles. Received by Highland, set by Tatum Rentschler for McKelvey, as that one will be tipped and just gets over the blockers, as the Lady Red will open up this game with the first points. And Franklin will come in for Turner Rentschler to serve, and Atwood will go in for Ochoa. Serve is up by Franklin, and it is good. Received by the Eagles. And that one was just hit a little long, as that one will go right into the net, and that will be another point for the Lady Red. As Franklin once again back to serve here. Serve looks good. Received by the Eagles. Sevi Wirtz will set it up for Joy, and that one is saved by Raby, as that one will also be saved again by Franklin, but it went off a little bit to the side, and the Eagles will get their first points of the game. As Hunkowski will come in for Joy to serve. Serve is up. It is received by Raby, set by Tatum Rentschler, and spiked into the net by McKelvey, as the Lady Eagles will tie this one up at 2 here in this third set. Hunkowski back to serve. Serve is received by Franklin, set once again by Tatum Rentschler for Atwood, as that one will be out, as the Eagles will take the lead back here in this third set, and Hunkowski once again back to serve. Serve is received by Franklin, hit there by Tatum Rentschler, and McKelvey tried to hit it over but didn't quite get on it correctly, as that one will go under the net and will be another point for the Eagles, as they have a 4-0 run here. Hunkowski once again back to serve, as McKelvey will tip that one and made it a little bit difficult for Franklin to get it, as that will be another point for the Eagles. Hunkowski once again back to serve. Serve is received by Franklin. Hit back over on the net. That Franklin hit that one a bit too hard. It went into the net, and that will be another point for the Eagles, as they respond to the Lady Reds' opening 2 points with 6 in a row. Score is 6-2 here in this third set, as Coach K will take a timeout. Coming out of this timeout here in the third set, Lady Red down 6-2, as the Eagles have gone on a 6-0 run here, as Hunkowski back to serve once again. Serve is received by Franklin, set by Tatum Rentschler for McKelvey. McKelvey will spike it, but that one once again will go outside, as this streak will now improve to 7 in a row for the Eagles. Hunkowski back to serve once again. Serve is received by Raby, set by Tatum Rentschler back to Raby. Hard spike there by Raby, but dug by the Eagles, as Tatum Rentschler will set it up for Atwood. Atwood will hit it to Hunkowski. Hunkowski saves it, as we are going back and forth, as Tatum Rentschler will set it up for Atwood. Atwood just hits it over. Sevi Wirtz to Kaylin Baker, and that one will be a hard spike and a point for the Eagles. That was a good volley there, but wasn't enough for the Lady Red. Hankowski will be back to serve once again. Franklin will receive it. Rentschler will pass it up to Atwood, and Hankowski couldn't quite get to that one as there's a lapse in distance there, as that will be a point for the Lady Red. Archer will come in for Raby, and Iflin will come in for Tatum Rentschler. And Archer will be back to serve for the Lady Red. As Sevi Wirtz will set it up to Ellie Wirtz. Saved there by Franklin as Archer will pass it over to Iflin. Iflin just has to hit it over. Sevi Wirtz back to Notkin as that one is saved by the Lady Red. Atwood will hit it over. Saved by the Eagles. Wirtz will set it up for Wirtz. And that one is saved by the Lady Red as Atwood will pass it over to McKelvey. And McKelvey will just hit it over. Sevi Wirtz, Baker, tipped, saved by Atwood. Set by Archer for no one. As the Eagles will once again get another point here. Scored 9-3 in this third set. It looks like Joy will come in for Hankowski, and Notkin will be back to serve. Serve is received by Highland, set by Archer for Atwood. Atwood will just tip it over, and Wirtz will set it up for Wirtz, as that was a good, smart tip there by Ellie Wirtz, as no one was there for the Lady Red, and that will be another point for the Eagles here, as Notkin once again is back to serve. Serve is received by Highland. Archer will hit it up for Iflin. Iflin will hit it over. Saved by the Eagles as Wirtz will set it up for Baker. Baker once again with the tip. That one is saved by Franklin. Hit over by Atwood, and that will be a kill for Parker Atwood. As the Lady Red respond here, closing the lead down to 6 points. And it looks like Highland will take a break as Nixon comes in once again. McKelvey back to serve for the Lady Red. Good serve there by McKelvey, as Sevi Wirtz will set it up for Ellie Wirtz, and that one will be dug out by Franklin as Atwood will tip it over for the Lady Red, as that one will be blocked by Atwood. The spike there from Sackow meeting Atwood's arms, and that one will go right in the back row where no one is for the Lady Eagles, as that will be a point for the Lady Red. Once again, McKelvey back to serve. McKelvey, good serve, and that will be an ace for McKelvey as Fahey just couldn't quite get all of it. As the Lady Red, I think, have 3 points in a row now, closing this lead down to 4. McKelvey once again back to serve after that ace. Good serve there, but a little too much on it, as that one will be out, and McKelvey will take a break for Highland. As number 20 for the Eagles back to serve. As Franklin will receive the serve, Archer will set it for Nixon. Someone is there for the Eagles from Nixon spike. As Sevi Wirtz, their hard spike saved by Atwood. Atwood will hit it back over, and that one will go up high in the air as the Lady Red will get a free ball here, and that one is a little bit out. As the Lady Red looks like they're building up some momentum as they close this lead. Franklin will be substituted out for Turner Rentschler. Atwood back to serve for the Lady Red. Received by the Eagles. Number 20 will set it up for Sevi Wirtz, who will just tip it over. Iflin tipped it, realized it was going out, then tried to hit it back, but that wasn't enough, as Wirtz will get the points there for the Eagles.
Baker back to serve for the Eagles.
Serve is received there by Highland as Archer will hit it up for Turner Rentschler. Turner Rentschler hits it over, but it is saved by the Eagles as Joy will hit it, and Ochoa will save it. Archer will set it up for Nixon. Nixon hits it over, but it is saved by the Eagles. Sevi Wirtz there with the spike, and that one is blocked, but good awareness there by Nixon to get back on that ball. But that ball will be set up once again for Joy, and she will get the kill for the Eagles. As Baker, once again back to serve for the Eagles, score 13-7 here in favor of Clifton-Clyde in this third set. Hard serve there, but saved by Iflin as Rentschler will hit it over, but it is saved. But it will go back over to the Lady Red side as Iflin will set it up for Nixon. Nixon will tip it, saved by the Eagles as Joy will find the empty hole, and that will be another point for the Eagles. Substitution made here as Raby will go in for Archer. And Baker will be back to serve. Ochoa will receive the serve. Iflin will set it up for Nixon. Nixon hits it, but it is blocked by Wirtz and Joy as the Eagles are starting to get the momentum back here, opening this lead up to 8. Baker back to serve. So that one will be saved by Iflin. Highland will set it up for Turner Rentschler. And that one was a good placement hit by Turner Rentschler. Not very hard, but it found just the edge of the court, and they will call that one in. Iflin back to serve for the Lady Red. It's a good-looking serve received by the Eagles as 20 will set it up for Joy. Ochoa will save that one, and Raby will set it up for Turner Rentschler, and that one will be a kill by Turner Rentschler. Sevi Wirtz just put a little too much on it, so her players could not reach it. Lady Red back to within 6. Iflin back to serve. Serve is good, but it will still be saved barely by the Eagles as Highland will dig that spike out as Raby will set it up for Nixon. Nixon finds the empty spot there, and that will be a point for Zoe Nixon and the Lady Red as they close this lead to 5. Iflin back to serve. Serve received by the Eagles. 20 will set it up for Joy. Joy will tip it. Diving save there by Highland as Raby will set it for Turner Rentschler. Saved by the Eagles. Sevi Wirtz will hit it over. Saved by Highland, but that one will go back over to the Eagles side as that one will just be a tip over by the Eagles as it will go back on their side after the hit. Joy, hard spike, but that one will go right in the net as the Lady Red close this lead down to 4. Iflin back to serve. Good serve there by Iflin, saved by the Eagles, and that one was just trying to get tipped over, but it will be saved as Turner Rentschler will hit it over, and Wirtz will give it a kind of a free ball as Ochoa will tip it over for Rentschler, and Highland saves it. Raby sets it. Turner Rentschler spikes it, and that one will go out into the Eagle bench, and that will be another point for the Lady Red as they close this lead down to 3. 15-12 here in this third set, and it looks like Coach Skosny is going to take a timeout. And we are back here as the Lady Red closes this lead down 15-12. Iflin back to serve for the Lady Red here, as that one is a high serve, but saved by the Eagles, as Wirtz will set that one, Wirtz will hit that one, but it'll just be long, as the line judge will call it out. The Lady Red now down to 2 points left until they tie up this ball game. Iflin back to serve. It's a good-looking serve, received by the Eagles, as that one will be served and out there by Sacco, as the Lady Red now down 1, 15-14 here in this third set. Iflin back to serve. Received by the Eagles, set up there for Joy. Joy's hit will get saved there, as Iflin will set it up for Turner Rentschler. Turner Rentschler hits it, but it is saved by Wirtz. Wirtz will spike it once again, and that one was a hard spike. Ochoa could not quite get to it, as the Lady Eagles will stop this run. Notkin comes in for Sacco. Fahey back to serve, and it looks like Iflin came out for Tatum Rentschler. Serve is received by Highland, set by Tatum Rentschler for Turner Rentschler. Hard spike, and that one will be called a lift, as Turner Rentschler, with 3 blockers, gets that one out. Or gets that one in, sorry. As Nixon will come out for McKelvey. Highland back to serve. Serve is received by the Eagles. Back set there for Wirtz. Saved by Ochoa. And then Highland will hit it back over, and Tatum Rentschler will tip it over. This one is set for Joy, and Ochoa could not quite get to that one, as that will be a kill for the Eagles. Substitution made here, as number 20 will come out for Ellie Wirtz, and Sebi Wirtz will be back to serve for the Eagles. Serve received by Ochoa, set by Tatum Rentschler, and McKelvey tried to get it with the left hand, but just missed it, as that one will be a free point for the Eagles. Wirtz back again to serve. Ochoa will receive it. Tatum will hit it up for Leah, and that one was stuffed by Joy, as the Eagles open this lead back up to 4. Wirtz once again set to serve. Ochoa will receive it. Rentschler will set it up for McKelvey. McKelvey will hit it, and that one will be saved by the Eagles, as another hard hit there goes off the hands of Joy, and Leah McKelvey will get another kill, as the Lady Red close the gap to 3 once again. Franklin comes in for Turner Rentschler to serve, and Ochoa will be taken out for Atwood on the front row. Franklin's serve is up and good. Received by the Eagles, as Lady Red will get a free ball here, as Franklin will pass it to Tatum Rentschler. Will set it up for McKelvey. McKelvey tips it, and someone is there barely for the Eagles, and Leah McKelvey is back there as it goes right in the net, and she just tips it down, as the Lady Red close the lead back to 2. 19-17 here in this third set. Things are getting tight. Franklin back to serve. It's up, and it's good. Oh, it was just a little bit out. I thought she had it, but I can't see very well from over here, as Hunkowski will come in for Joy to serve. Score 20-17 here in this third set. Hunkowski's serve is up and received by Raby, set by Tatum Rentschler for McKelvey. McKelvey tips it, but it is saved there by the Eagles, as Baker, hard spike dug out by Highland. And Franklin, will set it up for Atwood. Atwood will find the gap in the Eagle defense and will score. A couple of substitutions made, as Archer will come in for Raby, and Iflin will come in for Tatum Rentschler. Danny Archer back here to serve again. Serve is up and received, as Wirtz will set it up for Baker. Baker's hit is blocked by Iflin, and McKelvey will spike it down, and the Lady Red close the lead to 1 once again. 22-19 here in this third set. Archer once again back to serve for the Lady Red. Received by the Eagles. Wirtz will set it up for no one. That one will be a bit of a free ball, but Franklin will save it as that one was pretty well placed. And that one will be blocked by Baker. McKelvey's hit just found the right spot for the Eagles. As Fahey will come out for Sacco, and Hunkowski will come out for Joy. And Notkin will be back to serve. Serve is received by Franklin, set up by Archer for McKelvey. McKelvey will hit that one right into the net, and the lead opens back up to 3 for the Eagles. Notkin back to serve. Franklin receives the serve. Archer will set it up for Atwood. Atwood will hit it. That one is saved by the Eagles, as we'll see a joust at the net here as it'll stay on the Eagles side. Ellie Wirtz tried to tip it over, and it looks like they had some confusion. They called it originally on the red, but they determined it as a tip, as the point will go to the Eagles. And it looks like Coach Denise Kattenberg is going to call a timeout. And looks like Coach K arguing there, saying that number 1 is in the back row, but the judge didn't think so, as the score will be 23-19 here in this third set. Two points left to go for Clifton-Clyde. 6 points left to go, as Notkin will serve that one early. The officials were not ready. But a 4-point lead for the Eagles here. Notkin back to serve. Serve is received by Franklin. Hit by Atwood for Iflin. Iflin will just tip it, as Wirtz will save it for the Eagles. And Ellie Wirtz will spike it over, but it's saved by Franklin. And a bit of a tangle up there as Iflin and Archer bumped into each other, so neither of them can get the ball. And that will be a point for the Eagles. Eagles 1 point away from closing out this game. Notkin back to serve. Highland will receive it. Archer will set it for McKelvey. That one will be tipped by Eagle blockers. And that one will go back over to McKelvey, who will spike it right in the back corner, as the Lady Red still alive, as Nixon will go in for Highland. McKelvey back to serve here. Serve is up and good by McKelvey, as Wirtz will hit that one up for Baker. Baker will set it over for the Lady Red, as Archer will set it up for Nixon. Nixon's spike finds the gap in the Eagles defense, and the Lady Red are not done yet as they close the lead to 3. 24-21 here in this first set. They need to keep up this momentum if they want to stay in this game. McKelvey back to serve. As that one will just barely make it over the net, as that one will be a bad pass there by the Eagles, and the Lady Red will continue to inch closer to tying up this ball game. McKelvey back to serve. Serve is received by the Eagles. Wirtz will set it up for Baker. Baker, hard spike, and that one cannot be saved by McKelvey, as that will end off this game. Lady Red win the first set 25-19, then fall in the second set 12-25, and then we'll lose this third set 25-22, as the Clifton-Clyde Eagles will take the victory. We will see you for the next game in the same gym against